we as Muslims we अगर हम एक दूसरे के गर्दन पे पाँव रख के and we
She's 10.
fight for our own selves, like as Muslims we fight with Muslims, then who will fight with the people who don't like who we are fighting against, like the Zionists? And if we own something, that then why are we scared of the people that aren't actually the people that we are?
My God. No, seriously. MashaAllah. You're 10. That's your own question. गर्दन पे पाँव रखने किसने सिखाया आपको? Who's teaching you this गर्दन पे पाँव रखना? You know what that means, eh? Yeah, what does that mean? उर्दू में बताओ.
किसी को तकलीफ देना, like harm to harm.
Listen, Amra, I'm going to talk to you a lot today, okay? Actually, I'm going to use you as my anchor. Okay, because if you can get what I'm saying, because that's why I came here. गर्दनों से पैर उठाना है मुसलमानों की. Okay? But it's more than that. Actually, you know, we're doing a lot more than just गर्दन पे पाँव रखना. Okay? But there's a reason why people do that, and you should understand that, so that कल मेरी गर्दन पे आपका पैर ना हो. No, you should understand that. You know, whoever's doing that is justifying his foot on somebody else's throat. He's justifying it. Okay? And if you ask him, why are you doing that, man? He'll be like, oh, I've got a list. You want me to start alphabetically or chronologically? Okay? Yeah, so I need girls like you to make sure why it's wrong, not just that it's wrong. Okay? MashaAllah. Yes. But we're gonna, I'm gonna answer this question during this, because this is why I came here. ये गर्दन से पैर उठाओ भाई. Okay, मुसलमानों के पैर क्यों आए मेरे ऊपर? I mean, it's okay कि Zionist पैर मेरे ऊपर आए. It's an element of pride. Because if I'm not doing something right, they're not gonna get, or whatever evil there is, not gonna get angry. We are supposed to piss off the shaitan. Okay, if you're not doing that, you're not a Muslim. Anyone who's going to come into Islam has to pay. I mean, Islam is the toughest philosophy to follow. What do you think most people don't follow it? It is the toughest. It requires actual money, literally money. Okay? Abu Darda said, when Prophet said this, when I'm going to say this, Prophet said this, and Abu Darda says, oh, Rasulullah, Allah is asking for money. Like literally, Allah is asking for money. And the Prophet said, yeah, Allah is asking for money. Okay? So you guys are going to go through a lot of what I'm going to talk about, okay? But I need your kids. Have babies, okay? With true identity of Islam. And I need you guys to stay in England, come into power, come into politics, make money, become the best English, citizen, but with the right mindset. Even England needs that. Because if you're not gaining competence and power, then you're hurting everybody who's dependent on you. Okay? I went to Australia before I came here, and I went to just about everywhere in Australia. And those guys were just you guys, first wave of migration. And they're going through a lot of problems. And not just in Australia, they were going through a lot of problems in Pakistan. That's why they went to Australia, right? And they're going to go through bigger problems in Australia. It's called a retreat. Most of the immigration goes through that sort of a dissonance. Or आपकी बीवियां और आपके बच्चे, or sometimes your husbands are like crying, let's go back. Okay? And then you will have a lot of problems. What did I do? Kya ho gaya hamare saath? And then, the new wave of so much is going to go on, like LGBT in school, and so on, so many other things. That's going to make you rethink. Well, okay, that's the price. That's the price you better be willing to pay. That's what I'm saying. If you're not here consciously with the purpose, then you are going to go through more problems, and you're going to become a lot more problems for everyone else who's dependent on you. And you know who's dependent on you, by the way? You English Muslims. Rest of the planetary Muslims are dependent on you. Because most of you guys do not realize how important it is for being a Muslim in England. All the Pakistanis are dependent on your performance. So we need you to perform really well, like better than any other Muslim in America or Canada. Okay, close to America. Okay. Whatever platform that you step on, the responsibility is inherited through that platform to the guy who's stepping on that platform. For example, I'm holding the microphone. Now, you all know that I'm supposed to be very responsible, saying everything very clearly and properly and correctly and accurately. You need me to do that. It goes without saying. Just like that. This is nothing compared to the English pedestal you're sitting on. Whatever you do, as soon as a woman, now Amra is 10. Amra, where's Amra? Where she left? Okay, who's Amra's mother? Your mother, you're her mother. What's your name? Farhana. Always tell me your full name. Women should also tell their full names, okay? That's part of it. Okay. So Amra is 10 now. As soon as my daughter is going to be 10, my wife will not remain her mother anymore. That's Islam. That's the basis of Islam. As soon as she's going to turn into 11th year, 12th year, her identity has to come on her own, my daughter, my son. But since I'm only going to be Mrs. Somebody, that's my identity, I will have to push my motherhood on her even if she's 40. That's why we see Ammis practicing their Ammihood on 30-year-old women and men. That child is not supposed to be your child. That's not a child of anybody. That's a functioning, able adult. He's supposed to be performing in a sociological and moral, most of all, psychologically, as an adult. But since my Ammi is suffering from that Mrs. syndrome, she's going to push her Ammihood and I'm going to remain a little baby. That's why you see Mama's voice there. You were supposed to be as independently thinking Fatima bint Muhammad, not Mrs. Ali bin Abi Talib. But you were always Mrs. somebody, that's why you couldn't perform as a person. And your performance was supposed to be on the child. You're supposed to bring her up or bring him up. रगड़ा नहीं उस बच्चे को 12वें 13वें साल में तो he should, by the way, give him back to the father. 8वें 9वें साल के बाद तो अल्लाह ने कहा कि बच्चे बाप की मिल्कियत हैं अब. आप कोर्ट में जाके देख लें. Go to any court in Islam or England. Who's going to get the custody after the 10th year? The father. The Islamic court is telling you how Islam looks at parenthood. You bring up the child in the 11th year and that's it. That's the father's job now. And he better, put him in the deeper part of the pool. Make him swim real well. But we push the kids back to our wives. And they're going to remain their mommies all their lives. And we're going to be mommy dependent. A real performing Muslim or anybody, non-Muslim, cannot be mommy dependent. We better come out of those little nests and start flapping our wings by the 12th, 13th, 14th year.
Yes, the mommy is also dependent on somebody else. Mommy is also not independent.
Yeah, I know. That's why I'm saying. First change the definition. Okay, that's why Fatima bint Muhammad is the epitome of identity of a woman. You need to understand, there's a big debate in scholarship. By the way, in Sunni scholarship, as to who was on higher ranks, Ali bin Abi Talib or Fatima bint Muhammad. Have you never asked this question? Because they were performing individually. Why did you ever not ask this question to your own self? The biggest torch in Islam in Ali bin Abi Talib. The torch of knowledge and courage. Both of these things combined in one man. The Prophet said, "Oh Ali, you are my brother here and in the hereafter. Why are you worried?" That's the rank no Sahabi got. He got it. And still, whenever scholarship writes, they say Fatima bint Muhammad is higher in ranks because of her performance. Imagine that. My Muslim woman is not performing as a Muslimah. Having babies is a gift of Allah. A lot of women would want, and they're not going to have babies because of whatever going to happen medically or whatever. What are they going to do? They're still going to remain a performing Muslimah. Having babies is part of Allah's decree that you're going to have this sort of a mission. Get them into performance zones. Make sure they're not part of the mass. That's job one. They're thinkers. They're kids who are going to be surging and urging and yearning and earning for knowledge. That's how you come out of the mass. You go into the strugglers and then make them competent. That's our job, to make them competent in whatever field that we put them in. Higher standards of, understanding that knowledge set, be it science or be it, theology, be it, trade and craftsmanship or commerce. They better be the most competent people. That's the father's job. Once he goes into those competence zones, and that's something she cannot do anything about. We are the ones who are outside facing the winds. We need to get our sons with us, teach them. That's our core job. Schools are not going to give them that. I'm sorry. I don't. So once this cycle, and it's such an easy thing to do, less burden on the woman. You're carrying the burden Allah never gave you. And you're crying over, oh my God, Allah ने क्या जुल्म कर दिया मेरे ऊपर. और आयतें पढ़ती हैं, अल्लाह किसी को उसकी वुसअत से ज़्यादा बोझ नहीं डालता. अल्लाह नहीं डालता, ये आपने खुद डाला हुआ है. इसलिए बोझ बर्दाश्त भी नहीं हो रहा आपसे. इस्लाम इज़ वेरी सिंपल. जो अल्लाह के उसूलों के ऊपर बोझ हैं, वो आपकी कैपेबिलिटी में पहले से है. जो बोझ आपने डाले हुए हैं, वो आपकी कैपेबिलिटी में नहीं हैं. That's why you're gonna crack. And that's why you can't handle it. And hence, all the Muslim, especially Pakistani Indian kids, are confused babies running around, ricocheting from one wall to the other. Where's the path to follow? They're carrying burdens which Allah never even told us to carry. और वो आयत नहीं पूरी उतरती फिर हमारे ऊपर. वो अल्लाह का बोझ नहीं है, वो हमारा पाकिस्तानी इंडियन बोझ है.